Did you ever wonder if there's a best time to have sex? Well, it's a question that has intrigued many minds, and you might be surprised to know that science has quite a lot to say about it. Yes, you heard that right. From our natural biological rhythms to external factors, numerous elements can influence the optimal timing for sexual activity. This video is not about myths, personal anecdotes, or tabloid gossip. Instead, we delve into the realm of scientific research to bring you credible and fascinating insights. Over the next few minutes, we'll explore the intricate dance of circadian rhythms and their impact on our sex lives, the perennial debate of morning versus night, the phenomenon of the afternoon delight, and personal factors that can influence timing. So, if you've ever been curious about the science behind timing and sex, you're in for a treat. So buckle up as we dive into the science of perfect timing. Firstly, have you heard about the term circadian rhythms? If not, let's dive into it. Circadian rhythms, simply put, are our internal body clocks that regulate our 24-hour cycle of biological activities. They influence sleep-wake cycles, hormone release, eating habits and digestion, body temperature, and other important bodily functions. Now you might be wondering, what does this have to do with sex? Well, here's the fascinating part. Our sexual activity is also influenced by these rhythms. They regulate the release of sex hormones like testosterone and estrogen, which in turn influence our sexual desire and performance. Let's take a look at some research studies done on this topic. A study published in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism found that men's testosterone levels, which are linked to libido, are highest in the morning. Similarly, a study in the Archives of Sexual Behavior noted that women's sexual desire tends to peak in the evening. Another interesting study conducted by the University of Chicago observed the sleep-wake cycles of couples. They found that couples were most likely to have sex during their off-peak times when they were not at their most alert or energetic. This suggests that our bodies might be designed to reserve energy for sex during times when we're generally more relaxed and less active. So yes, our circadian rhythms do play a significant role in our sexual activity. They affect not only our sexual desire, but also our sexual performance. For instance, our bodies might be more responsive and sensitive during certain times of the day, thanks to these rhythms. But here's the catch. These rhythms can vary greatly from person to person. What works best for one individual may not work best for another. So it's essential to understand and listen to your own body's rhythms to maximize your sexual satisfaction. So circadian rhythms affect our sexual activity, but how does that translate into the best time for sex? The age-old debate, morning sex or night sex, which is better? Let's delve into this intriguing topic. The early morning, when the first rays of the sun gently caress the earth. There's something about the morning that makes it a great time for intimacy. One reason could be the surge in testosterone levels that typically occurs in the morning. According to Science, testosterone, the hormone that fuels libido in both men and women, peaks in the early morning hours, potentially making this a prime time for some passion. Moreover, the morning is when many of us have the most energy. The day's stressors haven't set in yet, and we're fresh from a good night's sleep. This energy can translate into a more enthusiastic and invigorating experience. Morning sex might just be the perfect way to kickstart your day, with its mood-boosting effects that can make you feel more positive and energized. But what about those who prefer the tranquility of the night? Well, there are plenty of reasons why nighttime could be your ideal moment for intimacy. For starters, the evening allows for a slower, more relaxed pace. After a long day, sex can be a great way to unwind and relieve stress. It can also promote better sleep. Scientific research supports this as well. Studies have shown that orgasms release a cocktail of chemicals in the brain, including oxytocin and prolactin, that can help you fall asleep faster and sleep more soundly. Plus, the darkness of the night can provide an added layer of intimacy and privacy, making it easier to let go of inhibitions and truly connect with your partner. So, whether you're an early bird or a night owl, both morning and night present unique benefits when it comes to intimacy. It really comes down to personal preference and what works best for you and your partner. Both morning and night seem to have their perks, but could there be an even better time? Let's talk about the often overlooked afternoon delight. Now, when we say afternoon delight, we're not talking about that scrumptious lunch you had or your favorite midday television show. We're talking about sex. Yes, you heard it right. Afternoon sex. You might be wondering why the afternoon, what's so special about it? Well, let's dive into it, shall we? The afternoon is often a time of increased alertness for many people. You've had your morning coffee, you're up and running, and your brain is firing on all cylinders. This heightened state of alertness can translate into an increased level of attentiveness during sex, making the experience more fulfilling and satisfying for both partners. But that's not all. Afternoon sex can also improve your mood. A study conducted at the University of Pennsylvania found that sexual activity triggers the release of endorphins, the body's natural mood elevators. And guess what? This effect is even more pronounced in the afternoon. Another study published in the Journal of Sexual Medicine found that afternoon sex can help reduce stress levels. The researchers noted that the act of sex itself, coupled with the intimacy and connection with a partner, can act as a natural stress reliever. And with the afternoon typically being a high-stress time for many of us, what better way to unwind and relax? And let's not forget about the practicality of afternoon sex. For those of us juggling busy schedules, finding a quiet, uninterrupted time slot in the evening can be a challenge. The afternoon, however, can offer a sweet spot of opportunity. So, there you have it, folks. Afternoon sex offers a unique blend of benefits, from increased alertness and improved mood to stress reduction. It might not be the traditional choice, but it's definitely worth considering in the mix. So, afternoon sex also has its advantages, but what does all this mean for you? Now let's get personal. In understanding the best time for sex, we can't overlook the role of personal factors. These are unique to each individual and can greatly influence when you might feel most in the mood. Firstly, let's talk about work schedules. If you're waking up at the break of dawn and spending long hours at work, you might find that early morning or late night romps just aren't for you. Your energy levels may be low and your mind preoccupied. So it's important to align your intimate time with your work routine, ensuring you're not too tired or stressed to enjoy the experience. Speaking of stress, it's a major factor too. High stress levels can dampen libido and make it harder to get in the mood. If you notice that certain times of the day, perhaps after a taxing meeting or during a particularly busy period, leave you feeling drained, it could be worth avoiding these times for intimacy. Instead, aim for times when you feel relaxed and at ease. Lastly, your partner's preferences are crucial. After all, sex is a two-way street. Their work schedule, stress levels, and personal preferences also come into play. It's essential to have open and honest conversations about when you both feel most in the mood. This can help to ensure that your intimate moments are mutually enjoyable and satisfying. Consider these factors, but also remember that flexibility is key. There's no one-size-fits-all approach to the timing of sex. It's about finding what works best for you and your partner, and that might change from day to day or week to week. So, as we navigate the intricacies of our daily routines and personal preferences, let's not lose sight of the real goal here. It's not about pinpointing a perfect time, but rather creating a space for intimacy that feels right. Remember, the best time for sex is when it feels right for both partners. So, is there a definitive best time to have sex? Well, as we've seen, it's not that simple. Our bodies follow circadian rhythms, which influence our energy levels and hormones. Some people may find their desire peaks in the morning, while others might be more inclined for a nighttime rendezvous. Then there's the afternoon delight, a potential sweet spot for some when stress levels are typically lower and energy levels higher. But remember, it's not just about the clock. Personal factors play a huge role too. Your mood, stress levels, and even your diet can impact when you feel most in the mood. So while science can provide us with some general trends and insights, there's no one-size-fits-all answer. The best time to have sex is truly unique to each individual and couple. In the end, it's all about finding what works best for you and your partner. After all, science is here to guide us, not dictate us.